Hello traders, Matt Chapman here. I'm the creator of the trademark Trap Traders concepts. Welcome to today's Trap Traders Trade of the Day analysis. Today's date is the 9th of January 2017. The traps we're going to look at today, a little bit of a strange one. This one in particular is an area you want to keep an eye on. This is a 4-hour chart of the dollar CAD, not our usual quarry, this one. And the reason for that is because this is an interest rate trap of sorts, and it's also an outside candle trap. And if you think about the market heading down prior to this big turn up in price, people would have been very much going short in here, right, believing that the trend is your friend, and taking shorts as price goes down would have been the wise thing to do. And indeed people did do that down in here, but as you can see, this candle spikes these lows, right? So if we just get rid of this for a moment, then you might be able to see it a little better. Spikes these lows, so it puts in a low in there, right? 1, 2, 3 touches, then breaks. It actually breaks the low of the prior candle as well, and then this candle reverses hard. Now this is what I refer to as an outside candle trap, and at the hard right edge, as price was going down like that, creating the wick, it would have seemed like it was negative, would have seemed like it was selling off, but it reverses and then obviously goes stratospherically north from there, trapping those traders. Now of course there'll be traders who had stop losses above here and higher up, who've been stopped out, but there are those also that took that trade and didn't use a stop, or took that trade and cancelled the stop loss. And imagine their psychology is price just continued to go against them, and then the realization that price was up in this area, and they traded wrongly against an interest rate. So this is where the US, the Federal Reserve, raised interest rates. So imagine their psychology is prices up in this area, they wouldn't be too pleased about that, right? And as price then starts to drift back against that up move, back into potentially where they've been trapped, you can think about what their psychology is like when looking at this price here. They're kind of in a lot better place than they were. Obviously this was the extent of their drawdown not that long ago, but humans being humans, you will try and hold on and want price to actually come back into the levels so that you would essentially exit your position at break even. And if you were a seller over here originally, then you must buy to exit over here. So that creates buying, that creates demand, and that's why I want you to pay attention to this level, because I think this level from the 31 sort of 40 area down to the 30.75 area is a really good buying opportunity if we do get down to that area. Now it's awesome for that reason, but it's also fantastic because it's an interest rate increase. So the Fed raised interest rates, and if you think about that, the Fed raised interest rates, right? So it was a rate hike. Now when a central bank does that, if you think about the value of the dollar when price was in here, you would expect the value to increase on an interest rate hike, right? So an increase 25 basis points, you'd expect it to be higher, but look what it's done since. Now this has happened due to sentiment, negative news, positive Canadian news potentially, strong oil potentially, right? Whatever the reason, don't take my word for that. The bottom line is it came back very close to where that interest rate hike took place. So by rights, the value of this currency at the low interest rate was comfortably here, so therefore it should never go below that area, although it can, just it won't do it to a great degree before there's a really great opportunity for you to buy. It should be up in this area and beyond there. So this is looking very cheap, and there will be an influx of buying in this area for that reason, and for the fact that you've got those sell traders over here exiting the positions. That's going to create buying. You're going to get buying from there because that's like a demand area, right, where price backed and filled at that level and then exploded north. So supply demand traders are going to buy over here, and then the fact that people realise that that's very cheap with that higher rate of interest, it shouldn't be down here. It doesn't mean that it can't do that, it just tends to not stay there for long. So this is a real opportunity to buy the dollar CAD if it comes back into that level. So you want to pay attention to that level. Having said all that, we're at a point where it may not get there, although I would imagine it will do. It's come this far, but we'll see, you never know. But we do have a level here where you're having a trap pullback occur. So as price breaks to the downside, people are selling off this level in here, and if it pops up, it's going to trap those people who have been selling this. So if it pulls back, this doesn't look like a terrible place to take a trade as well. So you might want to take a first trade in here, but with the understanding that you'd be comfortable going long on a second trade down in this area if that one actually does end up drifting to this area. Or you can just remain super patient and see if it gets to this area and take that trade. That's a high probability trade. It doesn't mean that it's going to turn perfectly in that area. It may drop a little bit below, but be aware that if it does get below there, it's even more likely that you're going to head higher in the not too distant future. So just keep an eye out. You might get stopped out in here, and then you might want to take another trade a little lower if you see some type of failure and a bit of a trap down there. You might want to get long from there. So it's an interesting chart. It's not an imminent trade, it's not something you can take instantly, but definitely keep an eye on this, because all the other charts have sort of been on the move already because of non-farms on Friday. So that's the reason why we're kind of having a look at this and seeing if this will turn into an opportunity in the next few days. So keep an eye on that. If you'd like to learn how to trade in this manner, I've essentially spent over a decade reverse engineering the trading strategies of the masses. We've essentially deconstructed all the trading strategies that everybody uses and hacked them, and we take the other side of those positions when those traders are losing. So if you want to get on the right side of that equation for a change, click the button below. Come and join me in my inner circle. If you like this content, hit the like button. If you've got some trading buddies, which I know you have, share the content with them. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe key. But most important, click that button in the description below and come and join me in the inner circle. And I'll see you there.